wind, there dwells a people so strong and tall that the great grasslands they dwell in bow down when they stride through them. They ride mighty horses, so great that their ears touch heaven, and their great tails fly like battle flags in the wind. And greatest of all of these people was the King Antiochus, and in his full flower of youth, he saw a maiden riding among the spears. He looked at her, she looked at him, and a year later, she gave birth to a beautiful young baby girl, and they named her a strong name. They called her Alexandra. And Alexandra grew, and she was quick, and she was bright, and she was clever. But she did not grow tall. And yet they waited, and when it came time for all of the children to go out and choose amongst the herds of horses their hearth companion and battle comrade, out she went with the other boys and girls, and saw a filly with 1,000 devils in her eye. The filly looked at Alexandra. Alexandra looked at the filly. And after that, one was never seen without the other. Alexandra's mother would be asked, "Where is Alexandra?" And her mother would say, "Well, she and the filly will be home for dinner if they don't kill each other." And so the summer passed, and the spring and the fall. And in the following spring, Alexandra's parents looked at her and said, "She is no higher than her father's belt buckle." And they worried, but they had more concerns, for hate had come to the grasslands. The Persians, who did not come for the land, they did not come for the horse herds. They came to destroy and burn and kill. And most of all, they came to bring down this great race whose only deities were duty, honor, and virtue. And so Antiochus called little Alexandra to him and said, "We're riding out." And she said, "I'm going with you, father." And he said, "Yes, but not in the Vaughn. For a little girl like you, one Persian will get over, then another, and we will be defeated. You must stay back and take care of the wounded." And she said, "Yes, father, I will." And Antiochus looked at his wife, and his wife looked at Antiochus, and they wondered, would she really? And so they rode out. And Alexandra would sit and thoughtfully stare into the fires as they rode at night and camped. And she would play heroic games with shadow puppets through the trick and smoke and fire. And Alexandra did her duty. When the battle came and the Persians came, she pulled the wounded back. She and the filly bore water. She and the filly would ride out into the battle to bring soldiers back on the filly's back. And as the night fell, it seemed like they had turned the tide. And then the howling started, and the great flaming bolts of arrows struck amongst their troops. And Alexandra did not lose courage. She pulled the wounded out. She carried water. She put fires out. And suddenly she realized the fire did not come where it had been before. And she said, "Wait, stop. No, come into where the fire has been. It does not come here. We will be saved." And everyone came to the parched grass that had been burned. And the flames circled around and cleared. And they breathed free again for just a moment. For in the dark they could see the eyes, like feral animals, of of the Persians who waited to take these burned and weakened troops. And they knew that there was no way out and only one way forward. And Antiochus kissed his wife on the cheek and raised his arm for the final charge. And suddenly, amongst the Persians, there was confusion and shouts and wailing. And Antiochus looked up, and there, 100 feet high and 100 feet wide, was a horseman aiming a bow at the Persians and slowly pacing from side to side to side. And the Persians backed up at this giant apparition. And the Persians, in superstition, fled. And as the light broke the horizon, the troops knew that their land was free. And just then, the last Persian cast one last despairing spear at the apparition, and Alexandra and the filly crumbled and fell. For Alexandra had used the trick of the light and the smoke because she was little, clever, and cunning, and saved her people. And as the dawn broke, no one on that field would cheer. And each and every man and woman would have changed places with Alexandra if only she and the filly would laugh and live again. And just as her mother and father started the morning wail, there was a mighty cry that went up. And they all looked up, and there was Alexandra and the filly, jumping the rising sun to take their place amongst the stars, where they protect duty, honor, and virtue to this day.